Hi class, this is Sir Sly and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we will talk about the second topic of grade 9 science, which is all about the circulatory system. So, napagdesisyonan ko na hatiin yung discussions sa circulatory system into two videos. So, for the first video, we will briefly discuss the function of the circulatory system, and then we will also talk about the different parts that compose the circulatory system, and then we will also briefly discuss their functions as well. So, to start, the circulatory system is also known as the cardiovascular system. It is the life support system of your body. It circulates blood and then the lymph also. Now, what are the functions of the circulatory system? Okay, so the first function here, it says here, transport of nutrients, oxygen, and hormones to cells, and then the removal of metabolic waste. So, transportation of nutrients. Basically, may access sa lahat ng part ng katawan natin is yung circulatory system through the circulation of blood. So, yung blood natin, nagbibitbit yan ng oxygen at ng nutrients na dinadala niya sa iba't ibang parte ng katawan natin. So, transport system of our body. At the same time, kapag nag-distribute siya ng nutrients at oxygen, kukunin naman niya yung mga metabolic waste from the different parts of our body. Next function is for protection of the body by the white blood cells, antibodies, and complement proteins. So, ayan. So, another function of the circulatory system is protection ng katawan natin laban sa mga foreign bodies, sa mga bacteria at mga viruses, through the help of the white blood cells and antibodies present in our blood. The third one is the regulation of body temperature. So, paano ba nire-regulate ng circulatory system yung temperature ng katawan natin? So, for example, tumaas yung temperature ng katawan mo, what will happen is that yung mga blood vessels sa skin natin will dilate or magiging maluwag, allowing more blood to flow near the skin surface. This allows heat to dissipate or to be released through the skin and into the environment. So, kapag mas naging maluwag yung daanan ng dugo, ang tendency is that mas magiging malapit yung blood vessel sa surface ng skin, and then yung init from the inside will dissipate papunta sa labas ng katawan. So that is how the circulatory system regulates the body temperature. Okay, so those are the three functions of the circulatory system. Let us move on to the different parts that allows the circulatory system to perform these functions. Let's talk about the first part, which is the blood. So, sabi natin kanina, ang isa sa mga function ng circulatory system ay ang transportation. That is through the help of the blood. So, the blood is a transport media of nearly everything in the body. Kahit sa kaduluduluhan ng daliri mo sa paa, ulo mo, nakakarating po ang dugo. Okay? Now, it is also known as the river of life. Now, an average person has 4 to 6 liters of blood. Now, the blood is made up of several components, which are the plasma, blood cells, we also have some proteins and some salts. 90% ng dugo natin ay plasma, which is the liquid part of our blood. Now, the blood cells are the solid part. So, ito na yung mga blood cells. So, we have 3 blood cells that compose the solid part of our blood. We have the red blood cells, also called the erythrocytes. We also have the white blood cells, or also known as the leukocytes. Then we have the platelets. Now, these blood cells have their own function. Red blood cell main function is to transport. Transport what? Nutrients and oxygen. They also carry carbon dioxide to be delivered to the alveoli to be released by our lungs to the environment. And then we have the white blood cells or the leukocytes. Ang kanilang role naman is for protection. Sabi nga natin kanina, isa sa mga function ng circulatory system ay ang protektahan ng katawan natin laban sa mga mikrobyo na pwedeng pumasok sa katawan natin. So basically, the white blood cells are also part of our immune system. Okay, now, The last blood cell are the platelets. So, the platelets help in clotting. So, paano ba nangyayari ang clotting? So, for example, meron kang sugat, yung mga platelets, madidetect nila na merong na-damage na blood vessel. Okay, so they will go there, tapos they will stick to the damaged area. Nagdidikit-dikit sila doon to form something that we call a plug. So, yung plug, ibig sabihin, tatakpan nila yung pinakabutas ng na-damage na blood vessel. Then, after some time, titigas na lang itong clot na to, and then, pag na-heal na yung damaged tissues, kusa nang matutuklap or matatanggal itong blood clot na namuo dun sa pinaka-sugat. Okay? That is the role of the platelets. So, we now go to the second part of the circulatory system. We have the blood vessels. So, what is the role of a blood vessel? Ano bang function niya? The blood vessel carries the blood throughout the body. Siya yung nagde-deliver ng dugo or nagdadala ng dugo sa iba't ibang parte ng katawan natin. Okay. Now, we have 3 types of blood vessels. Okay. We have the arteries, the veins, and then the capillaries. So, let's talk about the arteries first. Okay. So, the arteries carries blood away from the heart. So, for you to be able to remember the role or the function of the artery, always remember that in the word away, you have the letter A there, which is the first letter also of artery. Ayan. So, carries blood away from the heart. Now, arteries have thick walls to withstand the pressure because yung blood na binibitbit ng artery ay nanggaling sa heart. So, remember, sa heart, pinapump yung dugo, therefore malakas yung pressure. So, to withstand that pressure, dapat makapal yung wall ng blood vessel na gagawa nung role na yun or nung responsibility na yun, which is the artery. Okay? That's the first blood vessel. The second one is the vein. So, the vein carries blood back into the heart. Ito naman yung blood vessel na nagbibitbit ng dugo pabalik sa puso natin. For you to remember its role, always remember na yung phrase na into the heart. So, nandun yung word na in, okay? Which is also found sa mismong word na vein. Okay, so vein in to the heart. Papunta sa puso. Si artery away from the heart, si vein into the heart. Okay, now, si vein, compared to the artery, mas manipis yung kanyang wall. Ito ay dahil sa yung dugo na binibitbit ni vein ay nanggaling sa iba't ibang parts ng katawan. Now, yung pressure ng pagdaloy ng dugo sa vein ay hindi ganun kalakas as compared to the artery. That's why ang vein po ay mas manipis lang ang kanyang wall. In the veins also, we can find some valves. Itong mga valves na to ay piniprevent yung pag-backflow ng dugo. The last blood vessel is the capillary. Now, the capillary are the smallest or the tiniest blood vessels, and they carry blood to and from the body cells. So, since maliliit sila, microscopic, they are the ones responsible in delivering blood sa mga cells ng katawan natin. So, they provide the nutrients and oxygen to the different cells in our body. Okay? So, those are the 3 blood vessels in our circulatory system. Now, the last part of the circulatory system is the heart. The heart is a fist-sized organ that pumps blood throughout the body. So, yung laki ng heart natin is halos kasing laki ng kamao natin. The heart is consists of 4 chambers. Okay, so we have here the atria and then the ventricles. The atria are the chambers sa taas. Okay, and then the ventricles are the chambers sa baba. The atria, pag plural, atrium, pag singular, the atria are the receiving chambers of the heart. Ibig sabihin, sila yung tagatanggap ng dugo sa puso natin. Galing saan yung dugo? From the different parts of our body. The ventricles naman are the pumping chambers of our heart. Sila yung magpapump naman ng dugo sa iba't ibang parte ng katawan natin. Okay? So, pag hinati mo yung heart vertically, one side of it will contain 1 atrium and 1 ventricle. And then the other side, 1 atrium and then 1 ventricle also. Okay, so we can distinguish them by just telling the side on which they can be found. So sa left side, we have the left atrium and then the left ventricle. Then sa right side, we have the right atrium and then the right ventricle. Now, the left and right side of the heart is divided or separated by a muscle called the septum. Yun yung tawag natin sa muscle na nag-separate sa left and right side of our heart. And if you will notice, yung left ventricle, yung wall ng left ventricle ay mas makapal kaysa sa iba pang chambers ng ating heart. It is because the left ventricle is the one responsible in pumping blood to the different parts of our body. So, bakit makapal yung kanyang wall? Para po mas malakas yung force na maibigay niya dun sa pag-pump ng dugo natin sa iba't ibang parte ng katawan. Remember, hindi ganun ka lalapit sa puso natin yung ibang parts ng katawan. That's why it needs a stronger force para umabot doon yung daloy ng dugo. Now, aside from the chambers, we can also find the valves. Okay, so merong valve sa loob ng heart natin. Meron tayong 4 na valve na nag-regulate ng flow of blood. We have the tricuspid valve, the pulmonary valve, the aortic valve, and then the mitral valve. Okay, the mitral valve is also known as the bicuspid valve. So, ayan, naka-color coded sila. So, yung tricuspid valve, yung green, this one. The pulmonary valve, this one. The aortic valve, this one. Then the mitral valve, ito pong kulay orange. Okay, so all of them have the same role or responsibility, and that is to prevent the backflow of blood. Okay, so they regulate flow of blood. So those are the different parts of the circulatory system, or the different components of the circulatory system. So let's just have a simple review of what we had today in this video. So we have the function of the circulatory system. Number 1, it transports oxygen and nutrients, and at the same time, it removes metabolic waste. Second function is for protection with the help of the white blood cells. And then the third function is the regulation of body temperature. Okay, now we have 3 main parts of the circulatory system. We have the blood, which is composed of the plasma, the blood cells, which are the red blood cells, white blood cells, and then the platelets. Aside from the blood, we also have the blood vessels. We have 3 kinds of blood vessels. We have the arteries that carries blood away from the heart. We have veins which carries blood into the heart. Then we have the tiniest blood vessels, which are the capillaries that provide nutrients and distribute oxygen to the cells of our body. The last part is the heart. So the heart has chambers inside, the atria and then the ventricles. And then, aside from the atria and the ventricles, meron din tayo tinatawag na valves which regulate the flow of blood and prevents the backflow of blood. Okay. So that's it for today's video. I hope may natutunan kayo sa discussion natin about the circulatory system. Please watch out for the second part of the discussion about this topic. So, yung second part, yung pangalawang video, will talk about the blood circulation. If you like this video, please hit the like button, and kung bago ka lang sa channel ko, please hit the subscribe button and notification bell para maging updated ka sa mga future videos ko. So again, this is Sir Sly. Thank you for watching, and always remember not to study hard, but to study smart. See you next meeting. Bye class!